Okay, Naeglaria, how's it going, man?
Good. Just chilling out.
Hell yeah. NASA's coming up this weekend, right?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Excited. My boy CJ in the marathon, hosting, running. Alrighty. Okay. So just to start, um, what roughly when did you first get into the community, and uh what era would you say you were around for?
Well, I guess it's like I didn't really join the community until I submitted the game to like AGDQ. I've been
Hmm.
playing for like several years before that. I think I started doing like actual time attacks in like 2008, but I nothing like I don't think I ever got like a top 10 or anything like that. I wasn't particularly competitive.
Hmm.
I just tried to copy runner videos from Tonu, Jared Mitchell, uh, no name, all the like Japanese players.
Right.
Uh, I didn't like I wasn't like a truly competitive or like trying to do anything besides play the game more until I submitted it for AGDQ 2012, I believe, and that's when I started to like. I guess at the time there wasn't as much of a community. I made like a tutorial and stuff. There was a couple other runners, but there wasn't much interaction. Right now, there's like a Discord full of people all playing it, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like copying videos was all I really had to do because there was like two English speakers, but they weren't. They were like they had videos from like years ago. It made learning the game kind of frustrating for some parts, but I don't know. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. I mean, those old days were so much different. It was forum culture or nothing, It was like, that's all that you really had, or YouTube comments. That's all the interaction you really got back in the
Someone like
day.
I think I don't know if it was Tony, but for Colossus number 7, the one that's in the water, just
Uh-huh.
explaining how you like need to jump stab the water when you're like above his head to trigger the his like fighting animation.
Yeah.
That's something I like trying to replicate. I just could not figure it out at all until like just someone in a YouTube description said it. Because
Yep.
some like just replicating it from video, there's like very minute details that you like just will probably miss.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think another one that I think of is Dirge. I think it's
It's
9, 10, something like
oh, 9 is the turtle.
that.
10,
I know it. Anyways, the snake, the 10. Okay.
10 is the sandworm. Yeah.
Yeah, that one where it's like you want to do like 2.5 full stabs because like a third full stab like resets the animation or like sends
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
the next
partial
phase.
stabs. Yeah, that like watching 13, like the big flying one. That's where it's like I figured out that partial stabs were like, oh, that because it's somewhat clear that they don't. I don't think they even destroy the sigil completely, or
Mm,
no, they destroy the sigil, but they don't like trigger the him sinking back in.
exactly, exactly. So stuff like that is definitely harder to pick up on unless you like really study it. But then comments or just anything, any sort of communication would have been so much better.
Or
So
I guess some things that you can't see, like there's off-camera movement for like on number 1, where you when you trigger the cutscene, you can still move. Those I can't remember besides the first one. I know there's others. I haven't played the game in a few years, but the ones I remember, they're not too bad. You can just hold the direction and the time of jump. That's like the most you'd have to do.
mhm. Okay. So, sort of getting back to the history here. So you said you started doing some IL stuff in 2008. Um, did you? So you submitted the boss rush to GDQ, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I assume that you had seen somebody else do boss rush speedruns, or
Yeah. Opario did it at SGDQ 2011.
okay,
And
Do
I
you know
submitted it
if he got that idea from somebody else, or I'm just trying to sort of get a better understanding of what we knew back then?
uh, I don't know where he got the idea from.
Okay.
I,
You had
I think it's
said,
just that
okay.
people doing time attack. It's like we didn't really like the horse riding, and neither did like the GDQ community. I'm guessing. So it's
Mhm.
like the time attack. It just made for a more for like the casual audience. It's like the more entertaining run.
Absolutely. What I find so funny is going back and reading the SDA forums back in like 2005, 2006. Everybody is like, yo, I like boss fights or whatever. I want to see someone speed run the horse riding part. I'm like, no, you don't. Like, that's the boring shit, bro. What are you doing? They're literally walking from point A to point B. Like, that's not the fun part. The bosses are the entire game. Like, what?
Yeah, I think there's like a like the second Colossus. You can like jump from like the rather than run all the way down the hill to the lake or whatever, the river, you can like jump on the ceiling. There's like a couple like little shortcuts you can do.
Mhm.
Or going to I think number 8 is the salamander, where you have to swim across a lake, and then potentially you can grab a fish, and it can help you swim faster. You can also grab onto like eagles and hawks. I don't know if there's ever a point where that's faster, which is unfortunate. Be cool if there
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, but I guess my main point in that was like the SDA community was all about like full game runs because they wanted to see the horse, and it's like
I,
no man,
I mean,
definitely cut it out.
aggro fans, I guess they just like aggro.
I mean, listen, aggro was cool, and I was sad whenever aggro fell off the cliff. Like listen, I get it, but I'm not trying to speed run
Yeah,
that.
the another thing that's kind of weird is like because we did them in order like 1 to 16 rather than just going like all the evens or all the odds for like optimal movement that way. It's just like we literally are just kind of replicating any percent minus horse movement.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So you and Opario did it at GDQ. Um, were you trying to emulate the Japanese strats like as close as possible?
The ones that I could do, yeah. There's like on number 12, like doing partial sabs to one cycle them. I could never do that. I've still never.
Mm,
So like but all the ones that I could do, I went for.
okay. Okay. All right. And did you see any runs from anybody else like Fox Die or Shirapon in the years after that?
Uh, yeah, there was who is Unidone? He did a run that was like 44 minutes, I think, something like that.
Okay. I don't know if I have
On
that
Nick a
video.
video. He had like a controller cam for it, I think.
Okay, I'll see if I can find that because I don't
Yeah,
actually
I
have
couldn't
that.
find it. I actually looked for it myself. Like Nick a video, I think it's a dead link, which
Oh
is unfortunate.
no, man, that sucks. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, like in the years since, I've watched other people do runs from like GDQs and just their own personal streams.
I get you. I get you. What do you know about that Unidon guy?
Uh, he's a very good ILer.
Okay. I've
When he did the when he streamed the game, had like his girlfriend commentating with him. There was like 2 voices there.
interesting.
I remember watching it. That's all I can remember. He had a controller cam and 2 people commentating him and like a woman. I guess I don't know if it's his girlfriend.
Okay, I get you. Yeah, there was someone was under the impression that he was hiding his strats, and I don't know if I have any evidence of that. So I'm trying to figure out if I can find out for sure.
Well, he submitted videos of all his times, unless he like submitted a time without a video. I mean, you can't really hide it if you're submitting a video, unless you're
Yeah,
just
what
not like refusing to explain something in it.
the way that it was explained to me was that he would submit the video to like his friends or the moderators, but he wouldn't make it public. So they would be like, okay, you did get this time, so that is approved, but we're gonna just put your name on the board without a video attached to it, so that nobody else could find it and like steal his strats.
Oh, I'm not, as far as I know, I've never seen that. I know he had like a compilation, I think, of each IL.
Mm-hmm. That I have seen. I think they were from that BGR 44 website.
Yeah, it starts with like it's not just each IL. It's like kind of has like some production value and like having cutscenes before and after stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hang on. Questions here. Let's see here. What are any other names that you remember from back in the day?
Tonu, Jared Mitchell,
So Tony.
Tonu, like T0NU.
Oh, got it.
I remember it was another Japanese runner, like start with an H, like Hayate. I think there was a K in there.
Hmm. I have a couple names listed, but I don't have an H. Yeah, I just have Unadon, Shirapon, Tony,
Noker name?
Nokurame. Yeah,
Oh,
Noker name.
Nokurame.
Is it?
I don't know how it's pronounced.
Maybe it is Noker name. Okay.
I have no idea how
Jared
it's pronounced.
Mitchell. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really know where else we go from here. This is the problem that I have with researching this is that so much of this history is like it's kind of lost before like 2011. Right? There's so much interesting stuff, but like all the little details are lost, and that's what makes it a little harder to talk about. You said you were around in that era. When did you? Sorry, I'm really kind of struggling here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the link. It's like this was the first, or I think it was actually the second like leaderboard thing I saw that someone made using Wayback Machine here. It's actually not loading shit.
Yeah, let's see, the other one that I know of is like it says like 2005 Wonder or something like that is the name of the site.
Oh yeah, that one was a Japanese one, I think. Yeah. As well as like Game FAQs had a page on it.
Yeah, what's a real shame is I've been going back trying to read the FAQs, the game FAQ ones, and I think they restructured their website and deleted all of their message boards from like before 2007 or something. Because a lot of those links are all dead, and some of them have been saved on the Wayback Machine, but not all of them.
All right, this guy looks like he has some videos from someone else that are Tsunumayo. That's a name I remember.
Okay, this is good. Bunch of other videos on here. There's a squirrel. Squirrel, a cute video from 10 years ago. This is such a weird channel. It's literally a combination of like this person taking videos of a squirrel out there in their backyard and Shadow of the Colossus speedrunning. God, I love YouTube. Okay. I think what I'm struggling with is that I don't know what I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's like just dead links or dead forums. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's also like names that I don't know, and I don't know what to ask or what to talk about. So the English speaking community was aware of these runs, or the Japanese IL times, right?
Yeah, because it's like certainly like the ILers like Tonu speaks English, Jared Mitchell speaks English. I don't know who else does amongst the ILers. Like me and Opario, like I seen. I don't know if he watched any of these.
Okay. You said you didn't start becoming competitive until after your GDQ stuff.
Until I submitted to GDQ.
Okay, and then at that point, you're like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to start trying.
Yeah, that I actually like tried to get for like top 10 times ish. I don't know if I ever got a top 10, but I was at least
Okay.
like able to show off the game. That's all I really
getcha.
wanted to do.
Any memories of that GDQ run? Anything notable?
I remember on 3 going for the sword launch, where it's like the first attempt, I was like way off, and like you could hear the people behind me like taking in air and then being like, "Oh, he's like not even close." That's the thing I remember the most, just because I thought it was funny.
That's funny that's the thing that stuck out to you.
Well, yeah, just because I thought it was funny. I think it's like
okay.
probably like the more like spectacular tricks, like running up to 16. I think I got that. I don't know if it was first try, but I like eventually did it at least.
Mm-hmm. Did you run it in GDQ twice?
Yeah, HQ 2013 I did. That time I was up for like 30 hours at that point. It was like
Jesus.
I remember before the run I like dunked my head in like a cold sink just to like try and wake myself up a little. That was the worst state I've been in for like a marathon performance.
Oh gosh.
And
yeah.
before that run also there was like the TV kept having static. And we like they waited. It was like 30 minutes. They couldn't figure it out. They brought Uranium Maker down. It was at the 4-H center then, and I was like pointed out that like one TV on the left was on, and there was like cables wrapping around it. And he's like, "Oh, that might be it." And they turned it off, and then it's just like the signal instantly went perfectly. It was like electronic interference from like a CRT in a corner.
Oh Jesus. Running tech, man, I tell you.
Yeah, it's rough.
I feel like I've already asked you this, but were there any leaderboards of any kind? You posted the
Yeah, like the
link.
one I linked. There like Game FAQs had like somewhat of a leaderboards. I remember there was a Japanese site that also had one. I think it was the one you mentioned actually.
Okay, that's probably what it was. Okay.
And those are the only like leaderboards I was aware of.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I guess I'll sort of turn this on you. Is there anything like I want to talk about this? I want this stuff to go in the video, right? Like, what's the stuff that I'm not talking about that you're like, oh man, this video wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk about XYZ, right? Like, is there something that I'm missing here that you're like, oh my god, I got to talk about this?
Well, I feel like what should be in it is like when certain tricks were discovered, which is also not an easy thing to pin down between like if someone has a video of doing like the stick drop thing on number 11 where you light the stick on fire and like drop it and pick it back up again. That was known, at least it was like well before AGQ 2012, but stuff like that, it would be purely like you'd have to scour the internet for videos to find like when was the earliest one, or on game FAQs when was like the first mention or stuff like that. Beyond identifying like the dates of certain tricks or just routing, I guess then it would be like pointing out the players, like the ones we've mentioned. That old leaderboard that I linked, I guess, mentioned some, as well as this video. It's like the guy who hosted that site. That's what the YouTube channel is.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing to load, but even the archive link doesn't load for that Allen ISO. And What are some of the other tricks? Because you mentioned the stick drop thing for 11. Was there anything else that any other tricks to get that I can start researching more or looking into?
Well, on the first one, there's like the off-camera movement after you like stab him in the calf.
Yep. Okay.
That one, like a lot of people, like most everyone's videos that I've seen. I don't know if I've ever seen a video that doesn't have it for ILs. On number 2, you can jump from his like front legs to his head when he does a weird shake.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
On number 3, there's like the sword launch. That's like one of the more well-known ones.
Yep.
On 4, it's jumping on his leg and then onto his tail. Number 5, it's like jumping from like one wing to the other, or like falling.
That
I
one's
guess.
so sick. I love that strat.
It's also really annoying to time. Number 6, you can jump onto his hand at the start, and then like when he raises his arm, you can jump to his head. I don't know when that was discovered, but it was known at the time of my run, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, jump stabbing the water, so that there's a bunch of ways you can like make that number 7, like the water eel one, behave, but like the optimal way. There was videos of it in 2012. Or 2011 even. I just wasn't able to consistently replicate it. Number 8, it's like whistling for it and then like just jump. There's not like jump stabbing it from the top. There's not much that I remember speeding up that one other than just whistling at the start.
Yep.
And then like rolling past the grate railing thing, so you can like just shoot its legs as fast as possible. Number 9, you can jump on, I think, any of its legs and get either onto its back, or from the front leg you can get onto its head even. Number 10, I don't know if there's any real tricks with 10 besides the partial stabs.
I think partial stabs is the strat.
Yeah, like beyond that, it's like you still have to just get on the horse and then try to. Oh wait, I guess in the PAL version, rather than directing it to the wall, because he starts in a different spot, you can direct him into one of the pillars in the middle of the area.
Yeah,
and so you can save like a little bit of time like that. Otherwise, it's like you do the exact same thing. You like shoot it in the eyes, lower it to a thing. But I think it's the PS2 PAL version. Or is it there's a different one of the versions, like, because he like the worm starts, you start like earlier in the animation. So it's you can direct him to like a pillar instead of going to the wall. Number 11, it's like stick drop. And then like right after the cutscene ends, you can like land on top, you can end up on top of him.
Yep.
12, it's like I guess first is like skipping, going on the roof of the thing, just jumping directly onto his head right at the start, and then one cycling through partial stabs. 13, jumping on its back directly or jumping on its wings. It's possible to like skip the wings and jump on its back by like manipulating it in a certain way by like where you run, or like timing when you shoot it. I'm still not entirely sure how it's done, but he like sometimes when he's flying, he gets a lot lower to the ground that you could just jump on with bypassing climbing the wings. And then doing partial stabs on the sigils. 14, it's you run to the very last pillar and like hop on his back and off onto it.
And that's a weird one. I've seen that one. That strat. It seems really tough.
It's finicky because it's like it's not like a grabbable surface, so you have to like jump off it really quick. 15, you jump onto his left leg right at the start, and then go to his belt. That's these are all from my memory of like at the time in like 2012. I don't remember what improvements there have been since then. For 16, there's like you run up to like the way I did at GDQ, like run up to him, and then there's also like when you climb, it's possible so that you can, if you time when you do a jump on a ledge very well, you can jump over the ledge without having to hold R1. If you watch the ILs, they can do it where it's like they start running immediately after they jump. It saves like very minor bits of time. But basically, yeah, you want to run straight up to him, and then do like big launches from his hand to get to his head really quick. That's all the stuff that I remember at the time.
Yeah. What's crazy is that all of those strats were found in like 2006. Like almost every single one you just mentioned was all in 2006. Now, the torch drop for 11, it's similar, but the exact strat is a little different. I think the one that you're talking about was found after that, but I think almost everything else was found back then, and that's the craziest part of the story to me.
Guess yeah, the people who were ILing early on were also good at strat finding.
All
Since
right.
then, I know that running up to 16, there's a faster way you can go like straight to them.
No.
I've yet to pull it off, but
okay. I'll need to. I'm still doing research, but I'm getting to this part of the story now, and so I'm just trying to piece it all together.
That's like the biggest time saver that I'm aware of since I started running, was that there's a much faster route to run up to 16.
Have you ever thought about coming back? It's been a while back. It's been a while.
Like I kind of just like I'll play any game if I'm just feel motivated to play it, and motivation comes like once every few years for a particular game.
I get you. All right. Okay. I think that's all I have to ask for you right now.
As far, I guess I don't know if you speak any other language, but I think like Noker name I think is Spanish. So if you know Spanish or Japanese, I think Tonu's also. I can't remember if he's Brazilian but he does speak English.
Okay.
Jared
I do know
Mitchell,
some Spanish.
I guess yeah. It's like I'd recommend trying to contact them. I tried myself. I never got a response. If you could contact some of the ILers from like early on, even the guy who hosted this channel, Alonzo, they might be able to give you quite a bit more info. Because I was just like trying to replicate what they were doing.
Right. Okay. That gives me some leads. So thank you very much.
Also, I know pretty much nothing about hard time attack. That's another thing.
Yeah, hard time attack seems weird. I'm not scratching that surface just yet. So I'm not.
I don't even know if I've ever tried doing hard time attack ILs.
Don't they have like extra sigils, so you have to do even more?
Some of them, I think, for like for all the smaller, like number 16, it's still just the one sigil in the head. For the dog and the bull, it's just the one sigil. I think the eel is also just the one sigil. I think all the others have at least one more though.
Goodness.
Oh wait, and the sandworm I think also. Well, it still has two, but the others like still have one.
Interesting.
And I think they just have like twice as much health. I'm not sure if that's universally true. I think it is though.
Okay. Like I said, I don't know what I don't know. So if it comes around that I'm like, oh man, I have a much better question to ask Naeglaria. Is it cool if I reach out to you again?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Pickup? Okay. Well, I think this will do for now. Give me some leads, like I said, so that means I'll know where I'm going from here. So